Hello, my name is Thomas. I am a student in assistant here at the Custom Library, and I am here to talk about out mangas, graphic novels, along with a few anime. Now, what is a graphic novel and a manga? Well, basically, in layman's term for a graphic novel, it is a very large comic book in a novel format with a few volumes for the series. Now, a manga, which is called a Japanese comic book, is like a graphic novel, but you have to read it in reverse instead of normally. That includes the dialogue. Now, this is a manga, which the spine of the book is on your right side, and you have to read it from your left hand to your right hand. Now, a graphic novel has the spine on the left side of the book, and you read the graphic novel from your right hand to your left hand. Now, on to a few mangas that I would recommend checking out from our collection. If you love supernaturals, if your kids, teenagers, or yourself like supernatural, then I recommend 3 manga series that we have to check out: Tokyo Ghoul, Bleach, and Yu Hakusho Show. Now, here's Yu Hakusho Show. This is a manga series following a Takai delinquent named Yukoshu Yorashi. Sorry for the mispronunciation. Now, this follows his life, and his life changed after doing one good deed, which somewhat ended it after saving a kid from a speeding car. Now, he would go to the afterlife, but the afterlife didn't know what to do with him, so they turned him into a ghost, and he has to do a lot of good deeds. Now, for a spirit guide named Boten, and a boss that is childish named Konima from the other side. I would recommend reading this because it was made a anime, but there's a manga version of it. If you love Yu Hakusho Show from the anime series, then I would suggest reading the manga as well. Now, on to Bleach. Bleach, which is a famous anime from Shonen Jump. Now, this anime is a supernatural adventure following a guy named Ichigo Kurosaki. Fun fact, his name translates to strawberries. Funny, huh? And throughout his entire life, including his childhood, he was able to see ghosts and spirits. Talk about a interesting life for a child. And this continued for his teenage years. And one day during that time, he met a soul reaper by the name of Ryuka Konchiki, and is a member of a mysterious soul society. While during that time of meeting, they ran into an evil spirit called a hollow that hurts people. Now, the hollow would have hurt Ichigo, and he had nothing to do to fight back, and he wanted to protect everyone. So Ryuka was thinking of giving him half of her powers, but instead of taking half, Ichigo, for some reason, took all of her powers and became a full-fledged Soul Reaper. Now he's a Soul Reaper protecting the innocent and his friends and family from Hollow, along with helping spirits and ghosts go to the other side. Talk about a change of his lifestyle. Now, on to Ghost Tokyo Ghouls. Now this manga takes place in Tokyo and follows a guy named Ken Kanaki, who is just a normal college student, just like me. However, he had a violent encounter with something called a ghoul, which looked just like us people, but with red eyes and eat flesh. I would not recommend this for kids, only for teenagers and adults. Now, after that violent encounter with that ghoul, Ken is stuck between the ghoul world and the human world, where has to try and survive a turf war of ghouls while also adapting to ghoul society and learning about his new powers. Whereas that is the nutshell of this. And there are a few other supernatural mangas, such as Death Note, which follows a student named Yamaki, who found a notebook outside on the ground, which belongs to a death god. And that notebook is called, you guessed it, the Death Notes. And then another manga being Inu Yasha, which follows a dog yokai and a girl named Konomi, who are finding a mysterious but powerful jewel called the Shinkon Jewel. In translation, is a jewel of 4 souls. Along the way, they are fighting other yokai or spirits that are after that jewel as well. I wonder if Inuyasha will get it. The only way to find out is by reading the manga. And then there is one that is somewhat supernatural but has a little magic to it, along with some science, called Full Metal Alchemist. Now this series is, well, it shows magic and shows science and art, but not the science and art that we know. In this world of manga, the magic, science, and art alter the world a bit. And it takes place with 2 brothers. There's named Edward and Alpos, and they are doing something called alchemy to get a desired wish. But after that, they had a price to pay. One being Edward lose an arm and a leg. What happened to the other brother? It must have been less worse than that. The other brother lost his body and has his soul in living steel. Now, Edward is an agent and looking for a magical treasure called the Philosopher's Stone. But on the way, he runs into a few people that are dangerous and are after that stone as well. If you love magic or science, then I would recommend reading Full Metal Alchemist from our collection. Do you love mystery? Do any of you like Sherlock Holmes? Anyone? Oh, yeah. Now, Case Closed is a manga series following a boy who had the accident in high school that turned him into a child, which now he's going by the name of his best friend's father. And throughout that whole thing, he is solving mysteries and solving crime as a boy genius. If any of you love mystery and action, I would recommend reading Case Closed. Do your kids like giant robots? Or do they like Power Rangers in their giant Megazord? Then this next manga I would recommend for them to try read, called Mobile Suit Gundam 0079. Now this manga takes place in the near future, I believe, where there are some people still living on Earth, but a lot of them are living on a space colony. And there is a war going on. Instead of using normal guns, tanks, and other things of war, they are using giant robots called mobile suits. And among that war, there was one very powerful mobile suit model, which is the Mobile Suit Gundam 0079. Now, there were other models made later on during the series, but this is the very first model of the Mobile Suit Gundam. If you want to start out on Mobile Suit Gundam, I would recommend checking this out from our library. Now, on to some mangas that I would recommend for your kids, being a very, I believe, favorite among the kids being Pokemon. There have been many Pokemon manga made, but this is one in our collection called Pokemon Adventure Black and White. Now, this manga follows a boy named Black, which the boy has a dream of becoming the best Pokemon trainer and defeating the Pokemon League. And on the other side of this story, there is a girl named White. Yes, the opposite of Black. And her dream is to become a pop star. Or what would happen if both the boy and the girl cross paths? And they have to deal with a mysterious organization called Team Plasma. If you love Pokemon, and if you love the game and the anime and the movie, I would recommend checking this manga out from our collection. Well, that is all for the mangas that I would recommend from the library. There are more, but this video would be long, and I will talk about more of them later on.